Hi there, it's time for a new challenge. So come join me and I'll show you a fun way to include the colors in this monthly inspiration challenge in a brand new card that you are going to love. Hi there, and welcome to a new episode of Inspired by a Card with Natalie. This week, we're actually not working with a card to start with. We're actually working with the colors in the May 2024 Inspiration Challenge to create a card. And I'm going to host this challenge for this month. And the picture that we're going to use for inspiration is actually one of mine. These are the tulips that I got last year for Mother's Day. So we're going to use that as inspiration for a card. And I want something a little bit different for my A2 card. So I'm starting with an 8.5 by 11 paper. I'm going to use the whole thing together. I'm gonna trim it as I go along, and I am using the double rainbow stencil. You're gonna see that I'm gonna set it so that the largest arches and the largest rainbow in this case are sitting in the bottom right corner of my 8.5 by 11. I'm gonna use the 11 edge of my paper, and here's where I'm going to bring the colors of the challenge into play. I want to create kind of a rainbow right at the edge of my card. So I am using a few tones of fuchsia. I'm using purple wine, puffy heart, and a little bit of rose quartz for my fuchsia, and I'm going with the deeper tones in towards the bottom, and you can see the edges of the arches, and just kind of creating, like making sure that I feel the entire thing, but I want to deepen those edges. I want to deepen, the color right at the edges. Once I have that little strip, I'm gonna, clean up my stencil, mask. Satin tape is going to be really important here because I want to make sure that I don't have cross contamination in my strips. So once I have my fuchsia line ready, I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to go create my coral. And for my coral, I am using Coral Reed, Coral Bliss, and blush. And then I'm going to repeat the process, and for my green, I am using aloe vera, matcha green, and olive. Once I have that, I'm going to trim my paper to 5.5 inches, and then I'm going to bring in my scoring board, and I'm going to create a line right at the top edge of my where the arches hit the 5.5 side. So that's around 3.5, I think, in measure. Once I create that fold, I am gonna take the paper. You're gonna see it in the camera right now, and I'm gonna measure the back 4.25. I'm gonna mark that line, and then that's gonna create another flap, kind of an inner flap. It's fine because I want, with the way that it looked, I envision these cards. I want to have like a rainbow coming from the left and a rainbow coming from the right. So it kind of opens like a gate when you look at my card. So once I have that, what I have to do is I'm going to trim the excess to the top of my fuchsia strip. So you're gonna see that I'm using a pair of scissors. I'm just literally just leaving a 1/8 of an inch of an offset, cutting around it because I want to emphasize that arch that I created. Now to the flap that I built inside, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark it around 2.5 inches more or less, and I am going to repeat the stenciling of the colors, but I'm going to do it in the opposite way. I'm going to start with the green and finish with the fuchsia. So when they meet they don't meet in the center, one is going to overlap the other one, you can see the colors. Now here's where I have to be careful because I have to create the back of my card and also create a little flap. So I'm gonna use my comfy cut craft knife, and I'm going to trim the excess of the top of the green arch in the smaller flap. I'm gonna cut it so that I leave an 1/8 of an inch of an offset between the edge of the green arch and the paper, and then I'm going to use my pair of scissors just to trim the little arch. And you're going to see I have that opening. The small flap is going to go at the bottom and the bigger flap is going to go on top, so it looks like I have two rainbows coming into the card. Now I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to start working on my flowers. Now when you look at my tulips, they actually have like little streaks of different colors. So I was thinking, how can I create that for my flowers? So I decided to actually drag ink onto my cardstock, and I'm not going to go heavy. I don't want like a heavy tone of colors. I want that streaky look. So I just use the same colors that I used to create the arches of my rainbow, and I just make sure that I put them right next to each other, and I use the craft a flower tulip to cut them. I'm gonna make sure that I cut them from the different tones of ink, or like, you know, in this case, and I cut also the leaves out of white cardstock. Now I glue everything, just following, like, you know, the instructions in the pamphlet. And then what I'm doing again is I am going to use the colors that I use for my rainbow. In this case, we want to color to actually color my leaves. Once I have that, I set it aside, let it dry for a little bit, and now it's time to put this together. So I am actually going to use my 9x12 sticky mat to put, like, you know, my little bouquet of tulips together. So you're going to see that I'm going to play with a little bit of the movement. Having the sticky mat lets me move pieces around, set everything in place. You're going to see that I want to have like this nice movement. I want to follow the movement of the rainbow, kind of the arch look. So I'm going to play around with a few positioning. Once I'm happy with what it looks like, I am actually going to I'm going to bring a little bit of clean wrap, and it just push it so everything stays in place. And then I am literally going to take it and place it on my card, and I'm going to glue it with a little bit of like liquid glue and a little bit of foam adhesive behind the florals. I'm not showing you that because it, like, you know, it just, I held it there and started adding glue behind it. Now I need a sentiment, and the sentiment is actually going to go on the little flap on the right that I created. So I'm using the Mini Delight Light My World, and the sentiment says shine bright. It just fits into that white little space, and I make sure, like, you know, that when I place it, it looks like if it's falling in between the edges of the leaves. Once I have that, I'm just going to add a few clear, crystal clear enamel dots just to bring a little bit of dimension. It kind of looks like I do, and that's about it. I love how this turned out. It was fun. Like I said, I sped up the process because it took a while to create this, but I think it's a fun idea to bring something a little bit different to your card, and you can use the color inspiration for it. A rainbow is always a good idea. As always, you can find more details of the card in the blog, and you can also join the challenge. I would love to see what you create. Make sure you tag Alton You when, you know, you add your project. As always, you know, any comments or any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, and remember to subscribe to the channel for a lot of more beautiful content, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, guys.
Hello there! Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Alton You YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye!